Ooh. Okay. Sorry about me being late, people. Was having some stream trouble, but I got it together. So, like we did for the first video, Habari Gani. But this time, instead of Umoja, you say KUJICHAGULIA. That is the principle of self-determination. Let me cancel this and go inside the house, because as you can see, it is snowing. Not snowing in Texas, but at least I can live vicariously through my little character. And as you can see, I got a little museum set up. I thought that was cool. It's not a lot of ethnic items in Animal Crossing, but the little creativity with a little Koomba, you can do such things. Let me see, let me go back and do the pro camera so y'all can see it in first person view. So we have the Moroccan lights. Then we have the 7 candles that represent the 7 principles. And we have some Casablanca lilies, the black, red, and green. Then we have the unity cup that you drink out of for the first ceremony. We got some instruments going. Have some fossils and some art. And this is a statue. Then I wish I could have edited that. I wanted to edit that to make it look like a display, but I couldn't figure out how to do it in time. So we are going to go straight to the browser in a second. But first, I'm going to talk about what self-determination is. Not the actual literal definition, but the definition as far as KWANZAA is concerned. I have some notes here, and I didn't have them by memory, so I'm going to be reading off the page. And again, my comment section is not showing So I apologize if you type a comment and I respond to it late. I'm going to read this first and then look to see if there's any comments or questions and go from there. KUJICHAGULIA, the second principle of KWANZAA. If we have not learned anything else this year, we have learned the importance of self-determination. KUJICHAGULIA isn't just about you or me. It's about us, our community, and how we celebrate our culture and independently use our resources to self-determine our future. As the founder of KWANZAA stated, in a time in which occupation and oppression of countries and people are immorally presented as necessary and even salvational, the principle of KUJICHAGULIA rejects this and reaffirms the right of persons and peoples to determine their own destiny in daily lives, to live in peace and to live in security, and to flourish in freedom everywhere. We light the red candle for KUJICHAGULIA, symbolizing the fight to preserve as we work hard to overcome discrimination and adversity in our day-to-day lives. It also symbolizes our determination to take control of our future. We must work with all people and cultures for the good of the community, but we must do so without losing our identity, goals, and self-reliance. So it kind of goes back to everyone being determined to be their best selves so that they can help each other and the community to thrive and not falter, so to speak. So give me a second. Let me go over to my other browsers to check the comments. Okay, I don't see any on YouTube. Let's see, do we have any on Facebook? Test comment on Facebook. Yeah, I don't see any on Facebook. It doesn't say that there's anybody watching. Okay. Which is fine. I'm doing this for education purposes, not for the views. So let me go back to OBS, over to our browser. This is the official KWANZAA website here. And you can reach it by going to officialkwanzaa.website.org, and it's literally official KWANZAA website. So if you don't remember anything, just Google official KWANZAA website and this will come up. It's older, so some of the images are a little bit blurred out, but the information is still there and it is still correct, and that is the founder right there. Now, before I give you his name or what he calls himself, as he invented KWANZAA, because he wanted to, he was very determined to create something for Black people and for us to do it for ourselves. Hence why I'm talking about him for self-determination. He was determined to create a cultural identity that was positive for Black people. His birth name, or his given name, is Ronald McKinley Everett, and he was born July 14th, 1941. So he's 80 years old. He's still alive. He's an author and a scholar, and today most people know him as Dr. Maluna Karinga. And he has an official site too. As you can see here, it says the official website of Dr. Maluna Karinga. This is our duty, to know our past and honor it, to engage our present and improve it, and to imagine a whole new future and forge it in the most ethical, effective, and expansive ways. Need some lemonade. Give me a little drink. So that's him. I don't know if it's a current picture, but that's not what matters. What matters is that this man did a lot, and he studied a lot and did very many things throughout his life. KWANZAA, the holiday that he invented, was official in 1966. It's the first Pan-African holiday recognized by America. In an interview, he said that he wanted blacks to have an opportunity to celebrate themselves instead of imitating the dominant society. And Kwanzaa comes from the Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, or first fruits. It was a tradition that in Africa that celebrated the harvest, and he based off the whole ceremony and the activities off of the 7 African principles called Nguzo Saba. I don't know if you can see it on the right side, but here it says Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles: Umoja, unity; KUJICHAGULIA, self-determination; Ujima, collective work and responsibility; Ujama, cooperative economics; Nia, purpose; Kuumba, creativity; and Imani, which is faith. Let's say I don't see any comments or questions so far, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue a little bit more. Try to wrap this up real quick since I was a bit late in getting everything together. And I'm gonna go to his bio sketch for a quick second so you can see all of the accolades that this man has done. On his official website, so I don't misquote or misrepresent Mr. Karenga, or Dr. Karenga, is a professor and chair of the Department of Africana Studies at California State University in Long Beach. He holds 2 PhDs. His first is a doctorate in leadership and human behavior / political science with a focus on the theory and practice of African American nationalism. So that goes back, in the 60s and 70s with the Black Power movement. I was reading some bits and pieces of his biography, and they were saying that he helped founded the Black nationalist movement, and that he was arrested when he was having a tussle with the Black Panthers, which I don't really think that was true, because they said that he was acquitted on those charges, but more on that at a later time and date. His second doctorate is in social ethics with a focus on the classical African ethics of ancient Egypt. Professor Karenga, an ethical philosopher, not an ethics professor, is the leading exponent of Mayan ethical thought, having developed over the last 3 decades a creative and scholarly Kawadi interpretation of ancient Egypt ethical thought as a living tradition and a useful philosophical option for critical reflection on the urgent issues of our time. And then it talks about his dissertations. It also talks about him being the author of 17 books and monographs, 4 co-edited books, 57 journal articles, 42 book chapters, 650 columns and commentaries on critical issues, and numerous encyclopedia entries. So he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. I wanted to get a book from him, but it would not have showed up on time. Like, it would have showed up at the store while I was out of town, and if I would have tried to get it home, it wouldn't have came till next year after Kwanzaa. But yeah, so this website is Maluna Karinga. So his name.org. You can look up the Inventor of Kwanzaa official website if you want to read more about him and learn more about him. And his bio sketch. And also, don't forget the official Kwanzaa website. It'll give you a brief description. It talks about the symbols and the principles of Kwanzaa. And it also talks about each one. And you can also donate. You know, donating goes back to that principle of cooperative economics. Everyone giving what they can to a greater cause than themselves or to help their community. Communitarianism kind of goes in with what Kwanzaa is, but not exactly. Communitarianism emphasizes connection between individual people and how their identity is molded with the relationship that they have with other members of society. You know, in Black families, a lot of the way that we behave is molded by our parents and our grandparents and what's expected. But things like KUJICHAGULIA, self-determination, cooperative economics, those two go hand in hand with a broader spectrum. It kind of goes with the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, where everyone is helping that individual become their best selves. So through self-determination and making sure that you're your best self and you help preserve your history and your culture, because, you know, your history and your culture can also be a part of my history and my culture as Black people. So even though it has the word self in it, it means self in I guess you could say a third person sense, as in Black people, ourselves, myself, yourself, his self, herself, they, themselves, for, you know, the new people who are non-binary. Everyone needs to be determined and to do their best and to help out in whatever way that they can. And I done talked way more than 7 minutes. I was thinking that, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do, how much I'm going to say, but this was good. Just giving you a little bit of excerpt over who the inventor is, and I hope y'all go and look at the information. I know it's a lot of information, but I think it will be beneficial to learn about the person who created it and why they created it, and maybe that'll inspire you to do different activities for Kwanzaa. Like I said in the first video that I put on YouTube and Facebook, there's no wrong or right way to celebrate Kwanzaa. Every day you can do an activity in which you think reflects that principle, and try to continue doing it even after Kwanzaa. So your life, your family's lives, and, you know, Black people in general, we can all help each other and help everyone's lives be better. All right, I will see y'all tomorrow around the same time. So, Habari Gani, KUJICHAGULIA, self-determination. Peace.